Hello everybody, it's Sarah, and today I have a bit of a different kind of video for you because I was in Paris for the last 2 weeks of March together with Anna, and I thought I'd tell you a little bit about our experience there and show you some footage that I filmed. So first of all, the reason why we went to Paris is that Paris is our city. It's the city of me and Anna. About 2.5 years ago, we went there with our class for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. And it was there that we really connected. Obviously, we had been in the same class before and we were friends, but there we really connected and we got really good friends. Here's like a picture of us back then. Anna without her dreads. It's shocking, I know. And so this year we decided we wanted to go to Paris again and visit all the places that we visited 2 years ago. So that's what we did. But it didn't start off too well. I am currently on my way to Anna because we're flying to Paris today in the evening. We should actually already be in Paris, but there were some problems with the flight, which was cancelled, and that was really annoying because we had like 3 hours at the airport where we had to stand in line just to get a new ticket. Nous sommes à Paris! Bonjour, bonjour, baguette! So we're in Paris, finally. We had so many problems coming here.
First of all,
as I told you, the flight was cancelled, and then yesterday we had our flight and it was no problem, but then there were no trains to Paris for security reasons because we arrived very late, like 10 o'clock or something. And what else was there?
So we had to go by bus, and then
we had to change to a train,
and we like lost every train and every bus.
Yeah,
and had to wait.
And because our flight was cancelled, we didn't have our hostel anymore.
Yes, but we still had to pay it because they're stupid.
So before we went to the airport, we had to get a new hostel, but they didn't have it for more than one night. Like they didn't have a hostel for more than one night.
At the other hostel, you had to check in before 8 p.m., which was impossible because we arrived like at 1 in the morning.
So we had to change hostel today in the morning, and we had to get up at 9 o'clock, and we arrived at like 1 o'clock in the evening. And
but nonetheless, we're all happy here,
and we're finally in Paris.
Motivated. And I'm working on my French skills, as you might have guessed.
Yeah.
And we're now walking along the Seine. Show them, show them.
There's the Seine. Look at that.
And we're just walking and seeing how far we come and how far it is from our hostel to like get anywhere.
And on our first day we decided just to like walk around the city. We visited some old places that we still remembered from the first time that we were in Paris together.
I tell you a story. What was it? 3 years ago, Sarah and I went to Paris with our school, and it was this street, I think it was this street, where we bought this scarf and film yourself. This scarf. Nobody saw that, but anyways.
And 2 chapeaus.
Yeah, like these little French hats that look like you're a painter. I got one in red, she got one in grey, and we took a picture and it was all really funny. And now we took them with us again for the nostalgia. So that's the place. Behold it.
Sadly, the weather wasn't perfect and it was pretty windy, but what can we do? We also read Lady Midnight while we were in Paris. It's something that we decided to do while there, and I was finished a little bit more quickly than Anna. On the second day we went to the cemetery Père Lachaise, which I have been meaning to go to ever since I was in Paris for a second time. This time was my 4th time in Paris. And The reason why we wanted to go to this cemetery is because that's the cemetery where Oscar Wilde is buried. For both of us, he's one of our favorite authors. And this cemetery, Père Lachaise, actually quite a few famous people are buried there. For example, Jim Morrison, Edith Piaf, then there's Molière, La Fontaine, Auguste Comte. So, of course, a lot of famous French people, but also some international people. The whole cemetery, there's like those blocks, so you can kind of see where you are if you're, or departments, I don't know how to call it. And we knew in which department Oscar Wilde was supposed to be, and we went through the department right next to it. We came out onto the street and Oscar Wilde was supposed to be there, but there was just this really ugly, huge sculpture and we didn't really look closely at it. We just went past it because it was so ugly and so unlike Oscar Wilde that we didn't think that this is the grave of Oscar Wilde. It ended up being the grave, sadly. And it was really funny because there was a glass wall around it and all over the glass walls there were like lipstick kisses. It is just something so random to do. While in Paris we also visited the Musée d'Orsay, which is an old train station, and inside there are some of the most beautiful sculptures that I have ever seen. I absolutely love it. I love the atmosphere in this museum. It's probably one of my favorite museums that I have ever visited. For Anna, one of her favorite museums, which we also had to visit, was the Centre Pompidou. Of course, we also had to go to the Eiffel Tower. Although we didn't go up the Eiffel Tower because we did that last time. It's actually much bigger than you'd expect. Then one day we also went to Versailles. We didn't go inside of the castle because there was like a really long line and we didn't really want to queue up. So we just went through the gardens, which I personally think are beautiful. I love the Versailles gardens. I really get the feeling how it must have been like 250 years ago or something. Those huge parties. I think I would love to go to like a costume ball at Versailles or something. That would be just great. We also wanted to draw something or to paint, but the weather was kind of against that because it always started raining or it was really windy and cold, so we didn't end up painting all that much. We didn't even end up really finishing any of the pictures. And then the most exciting day in Paris, we went to the catacombs. The catacombs were awesome. First of all, I had to stand in line like almost 2 hours. Anna arrived a little bit later because she wasn't sure if she wanted to come or not, because I went there a little bit earlier, well, in the morning, but I was still standing in line when she arrived, so she came with me. And first you go down a lot of stairs, a lot of steps, and then you're underneath Paris. And underneath Paris is just a huge quarry because they had this special kind of stone with which they built like all the chateaus and everything. And so it's like kilometers upon kilometers of an underground quarry. And you can only visit 2 kilometers of this quarry because the rest is kind of unstable. And so you go through these tunnels, and one moment there's still people in front of you and the next moment they're just gone, and it's badly lit. And then you come to this bigger space, and on the other side there's a door, and over the door it says "Arrêtez, c'est ici l'Empire de la Mort," which is French for "Stop, here is or here starts Death's Empire," which is just so creepy. And after the door, or arch, there's the catacombs, and it's just the bones of 6 million people from another cemetery that was discontinued or something, however you call that. And they were moved to the underground quarry in Paris, and it was so creepy because it mostly was just like the skulls and leg bones, and they are sorted beautifully. And then sometimes you have like places where the skulls make a cross, and overall it just looks like somebody put a lot of thought into how this is going to look, and I loved it. I don't know what this says about me, but I loved it. And then we also went to visit Notre Dame, which of course is the biggest church or cathedral in Paris. It's probably my favorite church ever. That was basically all the big things that we did in Paris. Of course, we walked around a lot, we drank a lot of coffee, or me, I drank tea because I don't drink coffee. We ate a lot of good stuff. Paris is just so great for food, although it's all really expensive. And we went shopping because that's what you do in Paris. And overall, Paris is just one of my favorite cities to visit. I can go there, I don't care how many times. And yeah, that was basically my experience in Paris. I loved it. I want to go back again. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope you enjoyed the footage I just showed you. Tell me if you've been to Paris. Tell me, do you love it as much as I do? And I hope I'll see you soon. Kiss, kiss.